ICE, which is Immigration and Customs Enforcement. What are the situations that could have been triggering for you? Someone was in a receipt, they felt that this person has been out of status.
Expired visa, stamping, trigger ICE.
Welcome to the law offices of Mary Kennedy. Today we are going to talk about ICE, which is Immigration and Customs Enforcement. What it means and how does it legally operate for the legal immigrants and the loved ones. So there are many, fears and confusion related to this, right? We had been hearing about it. So what's that about when you're on a legal immigrant status, which means you're on a non-immigrant status within the country? And what are the situations that could have been triggering for you? So the most common one that we hear about it is any arrest that is related to you. It can be of a very simple theft that happened in a store or, other misdemeanor or something on a next level of it, domestic violence or DUI and so many things. And then ICE as well uses so much of a data. So before they attempt to come arrest or talk to you about an arrest itself, there are so many other preliminary work that could have been going on. So if you're on a H-1B extension receipt, which was the common topic that happened recently, someone was in a receipt and ICE was trying to check the documentations and they felt that this person has been out of status. Is it common? It's very, very uncommon. It's very exceptional. So you don't have to be on the fearful or the stressful situation just because it happened somewhere else. But if whatever the documents of your legal stay over here within the country, you should always have a copy of it. I insist again and again, you just carry it, your copy of your I-94 or any other legal status documents with you. But I'm not a very profound advisor of carrying a original. The only reason is it's more likely it's going to get misplaced. The more important thing that we observe and recently had been going through is the theft scenario, shoplifting that is happening in the stores. So what happens, most of the common, it might be intentional or non-intentional or it has been planned. People being on the phone, they just walk away with all the stuff out of the counter. And there are situations that happened recently where they got arrested by the store, and then on top of it, after a week, ICE got questioned them and they have been detained. So these are all very, very common situations, and the humble request here is it doesn't matter, you have to be on any non-immigrant status. Even as a moral responsibility for each one of us, we should not be doing it. Especially it could have been a very small unintentional behavior that could have triggered, but then the consequences are too high. So please pay attention to it and avoid those. Say for example, so you have ICE knock on the door and announce themselves they are there. So your home has a lot more of privacy and rights. Keep that in mind. So you can always, you being in a home and you being in a public place is completely different. So if you are at home, you have every rights to ask them, do you have a warrant that has been signed by the judge? Can I see a copy of it? You don't have to open the door. You can ask them to slide it under the door. More than that, what's your rights? You have every right to remain silent. You don't have to give them all the details of whatever has been questioned, your name, your date of birth, your SSN number. That's not needed for you to provide them. All that you can say is be silent and ask them for an attorney's presence before you answer any questions. And more than that, I always say that and talk to any clients on that, be cooperative. It's not you have to be, just getting stressed about it, and just cooperate with the officer as much as possible. You can tell them that I need my attorney presence, and then I have to be providing those details and documents rather than using some other words or anything to trigger them in a different way. So you need to be very respectful and at the same time claiming your legal rights as well. And about the visa documentation, say for example, you have a visa that has been expired, so that doesn't mean that you are going to be questioned. That's not the criteria here. I-94 decides your continuity of stay within the US on a legal status. And most of you are know about this. Because of the fear and the confusion, that's the place you're missing out certain details. And if your passport is expiring, please pay attention to it. We have discussed multiple times. I know this is as simple as such, but then that's the time you would have been received a shortening of your visa, I-94, and so probably that could have been, that has to be extended, either going back to the port of entry, or you have to extend it through your employer, or whatever your scenarios should be. And this is all something very important to keep in mind. The next question we do have is, why do I get a biometric fingerprinting recommends being on a H1B or an I-140 being filed? This is also very commonly most of the individuals are getting. So the reason behind this, when you apply for your H1B, you don't have to do a fingerprinting. That's not a part of your filing, or the I-140. But then when you're getting a biometric, definitely you have to go and give the fingerprinting. The reasoning behind is, you would have had an arrest in the past scenario. It can be for any reason. As we discussed earlier, it can be a theft, it can be a DUI, it can be a domestic violence, or even a reckless driving. So these are some of the scenarios that could have been triggering them. And then all that you have to do is go do the fingerprinting, and then whoever your attorney, this is completely a subjective matter. So you need to talk to your attorney, explain it to them, and then they will be able to address this. I don't want to go in detail because it's subjective matter. So what kind of the case has been dismissed, or what is the scenario that has to be explained through an affidavit, and all those documentations, and then substantiated. So this is all a subjective matter. You should be talking to your attorney who filed your paperwork, and then go from there. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel.